Hey, hey, you guys. Um, Late today, just getting going. Late. Whatever. Not late, really. Here now. So, I was with a friend today earlier, and it was a travel day, but I spent some time with somebody this morning, and she was asking, how do I know when I'm in ego? How do I know when I'm in ego? And it's I get that it's sometimes hard to know because many of us feel like we've been there all the time, and so it's hard to discern, and then it compared to what, and so I this is what came out. We were just sitting in the parking lot, and it just kind of came out, and although I've said it many times, I just want to share with you, and after I do this, we're going to hey Mel, hey buddy, after we do this, I'm going to do my reading, and then we'll do a little short meditation, and we'll kind of go from there. So how do we know when we're caught in our head, caught in our thoughts, or our persona, or our story, and there's some sure signs. There really is, and if you've done ever done the enlightenment intensive or the Satori experience, like my friend Mel and I have now, we recognize that story is not who we are. That from the ego, from the mind, we have thought we were. We have thought we were, the story. And we have the experience in that enlightenment intensive of recognizing that we're not attached to who we think we are, whether it's who we are as a man or a woman, or who we are in our culturally, whether we're white, or whether we're Asian, or whether we're these are just personas. This is what we happen to be on the planet as, and it's not really who we are. And we can be stuck in those things and imagine that we are that. That's our story, and it's a very limited version of ourselves. It's consciousness, but it's a very limited version of ourselves, and it can then come with judgments on ourselves, on others. We see people as those things, as skinny or tall or fat, and we have judgments with those descriptions. And so, but some of the kind of the most clear things on a personal level is, let's say we're angry. We're angry. Wow. The anger is a sure sign that we're in our ego or in persona. It's just a sure sign, So use the anger to become present. Breathe in, and there we are. All of a sudden we're present. As soon as we're here, in this moment, the anger melts. It's like, oh, what was that? Or fear. We're in fear. Fear, again, is we laughingly say, false evidence appearing real. So it's not true. It's part of the story. We've made up a story, something to create fear. And so again, we look at it, and we be with it, see it. We don't get on the fear train. We're like, oh, look at that, I'm having fear. And as we become aware we're having fear, we come into the moment. Now, another way is with fear and anger, we can ask, in the moment, to have it removed. We can say, take away my fear, show me what you'd have me to be. And at once we begin to outgrow fear. Once we begin to outgrow anger. It's just because presence, there's nothing in the present. The present is empty. The present is, it's free. It's, we can be in the present with, who we are. And that's the key, is that when we So we have judgment, we have complaint, then we're basically in our ego. We're not here. We're in the story. And, we've created the whole story in our minds. Some of it's been painted by others. Some of it's been created by others. But for the most part, it's us. We've created it. And we continue to create it in every moment. We're making meaning, this must mean that, this must mean something, whatever. There's a lot of meaning making going on in the world all the time. It's cultural. It's like, what does that mean? If somebody sent me something, I just got home today from being away for 3 weeks. And as I got home, this care package arrived of all these beautiful Thai dishes of food. And ego wants to know what that means. What does that mean? And it doesn't necessarily have to mean anything. It means that thank you. I feel gratitude and for this beautiful, this beautiful food, this beautiful Thai food that arrived, But mind, ego, it then wants to make meaning, so I just let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. And be aware as soon as something comes up, complaint, judgment, fear, anger, even gratitude can be in the story. It's maybe a higher level, but it's still in the story. It's like, oh my God, thank you. And if we're going to be grateful for anything, we need to be grateful for everything. Otherwise, we're in the story saying this is good and this is bad. And who's to say what's good and what's bad? So that's the deal. If you're saying to yourself, how do I get clear? How do I become awakened, if you will? It's right in that spot. When we start to see our mind, recognize that we can't trust it. In some cases, it has. In some cases, it has. It's not that. It's not that it's not functioning or that it isn't. That we don't need it. It just watch and see where it's going and what it's doing. For me, because of the way my mind was set in my youth, if you will, probably before I was even 5, I had in here in this what we call the story, I had this unmovable idea that the world wasn't safe and that I wasn't safe in the world, and so fear had crept in and stayed most of my adult life, most of my life. I would judge everything and fear. So I desperately wanted that to stop. And I tried a lot of different ways, to how do I stop that? I went to courses and I read books and I did affirmations. I did a lot of things to try to fix the mind. And I finally realized, I was like, I can't fix the mind. It's, maybe it was hardwired with trauma, whatever. It's just not fixable. So I have to, recognize that it's like having a roommate that's always stealing. Do I continue to live with that person? No, I say, no, it's enough. Well, that's finally what I said with the mind. That's enough. That's enough. Wake up. I kept going back. It's like an old girlfriend that, kept showing up and saying, it'll be different this time. Remember all the good times we had? And I would like, oh yeah, okay, let's do that. So with the mind, it would be the same way. And I didn't realize for a long time that I was not my mind, that I'm not my thoughts. They come from God knows, from, basically an imprint. Everything in my world is colored by my thoughts and by my perception, my context in life, and I can't change that. But we're told that we can. We're really sold this huge bill of goods that we can change our thinking. And I realized that that story that I was living over and over and over again wasn't true. And that I didn't need to even spend 1 minute trying to change it anymore, just to, jump to a new platform. And this new platform, instead of a platform of fear, is a platform of love. And I can't create it. I didn't create it. It's already there. I didn't earn it. It's already there. It's always been there. I just couldn't see it. I was so stuck in the other platform, if you will, the other way of living, the other operating system, so how do I get to that platform of love? Be present. Be here and now. So every time I see, a glitch in the matrix, which is anger, fear, judgment, hate, complaint, wanting, those are glitches in the system. As soon as I see them, I stop. Breathe, pause. Boy, in the 12-step word, that's the most important word in the book. We pause. That's the direction. We pause, and when agitated or upset, when anger or fear, boom, we're there. And automatically, it's our natural state to be on this platform of love. How do you like that? And what's there? There's nothing there. In a way, it's empty. And it's fast. There's no story. It's free. Why would I want to live in confusion? Why would I want to live in anger or fear? No way. So, but it just took a long time to realize, what they call it, self-realization, to realize that was not me. That was a story of me, an illusion of me. Anyway, sounds pretty easy, doesn't it? It is. It is easy. Okay, you guys. I don't know where my glasses are. Oh, well, I'll figure this out, I think. There we go. I think I have glasses. And they're right here. Yes. Ha ha ha. Hey Shane. Hey, buddy. So, what I found is that it seems so obscure, what I just talked about, that not many people, it's like, it's too much. It's like, because we want to understand it with the mind. And to just let go of understanding. Understanding is from the ego. Understanding, we want to understand it. It's not about belief. It really is where we can live from. We don't have to believe it. We just be it. Right? And what day is it? It's the 4th, isn't it? December the 4th. We're going to read from the... there we go. From the 24-hour day book again. Hey, Shane. Good evening, David, and everyone. Thanks, buddy. Nice to see you. It is evening. I'm a little late today. It was a travel day. December the 4th, AA. Thought for the day. This is from the 24-hour day book. I found an article. I'm going to post it, actually, about the guy who wrote this. And quite an in-depth article about the guy who wrote this. I've been reading it. I'll post it. It's pretty cool. This was actually, I thought it was published in 54, but it was published in 1948. Wow. Okay. December 4th. If we allow an alcoholic thought to lodge in our minds for any length of time, we're in danger of having a slip. So that's what I was just talking about. Anger, fear, right? Judgment. Yeah, when those thoughts can bring us into that place. Therefore, we must dispel such thoughts as once. And that's what I was just saying as well. We let go of them. We see them, we use them as signposts to come into the moment. And we come into the moment through prayer, we can come into the moment through breath. Therefore, we must dispel these thoughts at once by refusing their admittance, by immediately putting constructive thoughts in their place. Well, that's one way. Remember that alcohol is poison to you. Remember that it's impossible for you to drink normally. Remember that one drink will lead to others, and you will eventually be drunk. So they're talking primarily about what happens with the drinking. I'm talking about living in confusion and fear. We don't have to live in confusion and fear anymore. We can live free all the time. And it's really what the 12 steps gives us, and having had a spiritual awakening. So this is the awakening I'm speaking of. Having a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps. Boom. But it's difficult because ego really desperately wants to hold on to running the show. Remember what happened to you in the past as a result of your drinking. Think of every reason you have learned in AA for not taking that drink. Fill your mind with constructive thoughts. Fill your mind with God, with the moment, with freedom, with love, by keeping my thoughts constructive. Meditation for the day. Always seek to set aside the valuations of the world which seem wrong, and try to judge only by those valuations which seem right to you. Do not seek too much the praise and notice of men. Be one of those who, though sometimes scoffed at, have a serenity and a peace of mind which the scoffers never know. Be one of that band who feel the divine principle in the universe, though he be often rejected by men because he cannot be seen. Wow. Hey, Tyler. Maureen. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may not heed too much the judgment of men. I pray that I may test things by what seems right to me. This is a little book, 24-hour day book, written, I just found out, in 1948. A long time ago. 72 years ago that book was written, and it has some really good stuff in it, so I enjoy sharing it with you on a daily basis. And it was a 24 hours a day, and I started reading it 1st of May. It's been quite a little journey for me to read it. So that's it, you guys. Love you. We're going to have a little meditation, and I know it's late, but if you got a spot, if you can sit just for a minute, just join me for maybe 5 minutes. We'll do a real short, just for 5 minutes. Just find a spot, get yourself set up. Doesn't matter what's going on. It doesn't even matter if the TV's on. It doesn't matter about anything. You do not have to find a quiet spot. There's no need to chase perfection. This is it. We can do this anywhere, anytime. So, with your eyes closed and your back supported, just sitting up. This is not a nap. This is to just sit. There's nothing to do. We come into the moment. We want to be here. We want to be present in this moment, using our breath to be here. Be here with the breath. Be here with the breath. And remember, many of us have unruly minds. But the beginning of a mind that becomes a servant to you, that works for you, the beginning of that is seeing that it has thoughts of its own. It just runs around digging up shit, thinking things, looking for problems, looking for what's right or what's wrong, looking for what's good or what's bad, judging each moment. So, beating you up sometimes for perceived errors. It's all just bullshit. It's doing things to get your attention. And if you don't give it any attention, or you just let the thoughts go, eventually it will quiet. The mind will quiet. Oh my, here we are. Just feel the stillness, beautiful stillness in the moment. Just going to leave all thoughts, all concepts, all ideas behind. Just sit quietly. Watch the thoughts. You get taken away by one, just breathe, come back to the breath. Just seeing that you've gotten taken away by one brings you back to now. Sometimes thoughts just come, they're of no consequence. Just let them go. Some come, they do grab you. It becomes a little more difficult to let it go, but just let it go. Back to that space, back to that emptiness, back to that openness, back to freedom and joy, happiness is in this moment, back to now. Once you've found that place, that space, where thought is not, you want to come back here all the time. That stillness. This is a way in. I suggest you If you're interested in the quiet, the freedom in the now, you'll try. You'll come back to this spot lots. You're not just hearing about it from somebody else. You experience it yourself. All right, just come back. It's long enough. Thank you. HAR. Home. Always home. That's home, where we just were. Beautiful, quiet. Thanks, you guys. It's nice to be with you again. From my space, this is my little living space, and this beautiful home we have. So, thanks for joining me today, and sure we'll see you tomorrow. Love you lots.